This is a flashforge Adventurer 3. Adventurer 3. It's a little tiny 3D printer. Flashforge is an American company. It's quite a nice little printer. It's very good for kids, I reckon. It's got a nice little touch screen there that's very easy to understand. I bought it because I have a son and he's 5 years old and he can use this thing. It's a lot easier to use than, say, something like that or that. Not much difference really, but it is a little bit easier. It's a nice little 3D printer. There's one problem. One problem with this flashforge Adventurer 3. They give you this filament, right? Comes with in the box when you buy this thing brand new. And the diameter of this filament and the thickness of it fits in there, right? With the cover on. It'll fit in there. And then if you get any standard filament, any 1 kilo filament, like this white one is 1 kilo, standard filament, it'll fit in any 3D printer really. It won't fit in. It does not fit in. Because they've made it so you have to buy a certain filament. I think only half a kilo is meant to fit in there. So what I did is I turned down the OD about 20 mil so it fits in there. To turn it down, you just put a bit of tape around it, duct tape. You don't even have to really do that, but that just stops it unrolling when you have it in the lathe turning in the chuck. You just turn it down 15, 20 mil. So this one I've done it to as well. Turn the OD down, just with a sharp high-speed steel tip. Turn the OD down. But then the thickness is too much, because these are 1 kilo rolls. So the thickness is too much, because if you put it in there, you can't close the door. So I just quickly drawn up on tinkercad.com this little bush, which I 3D printed on that Ender 3V2, but you can print it on anything. This little bush, the thickness of that wall is 0.8. So if you've got a 0.4 nozzle, to make that, goes around once and then back around that way, each layer, to make a 0.8 thickness wall. And then that's 2 mil thick. And I made another one here because this is a bit thin to grab. So I made one with a thicker part here, the shoulder. And it just, you push the filament up in there and you just slide that on. And it fits on there perfectly onto the shaft that's already in. See that white shaft there? It slides perfectly on that. Now if I come over here, I'll show you. And with this, you don't put the cover on. You can always draw up another cover and 3D print the cover that fits on there. But at the moment, look, it's all sticking out, so it won't go on. But to fit a standard spool on there, you just really need to print this. And then turn down the OD if it's too much. Some of them have smaller ODs. That's just an example I'm showing you, all different filaments. But now a standard spool, 1 kilo spool, fits on there with this bush. But anyway, let's go have a look. I'm just printing a Xbox 360 wall mount I got off Thingiverse. Let's go over here and I'll quickly show you. Won't take long to show you. See, there's the wall mount. And it's printing. Anyway, so I'll just exit that. Go into Tinkercad. I'm a thinking with my Tinkercad, man. Tinkercad. Oh, Tinkercad. Thinker. So Tinkercad. Tinkercad.com. Everybody in the world should use this. It's a fantastic thing to draw. So you see this bush? If I just grab that, and how do I do this with one hand? Fuck. Hang on, let me just quickly make it. Hold shift, click on that, and then just quickly go to your creations, create shape, and there it is there. Right? And we'll just call it bush, B-U-S-H, save. So to see what the diameter is of this bush, it's quite easy, you can draw it yourself. It's 52 by 52 is the OD, and the ID of the bush is 50.7. So it's 50.7 ID and 52 diameter OD, which gives you this bush here. See? And then this bottom part is just something to grab onto. So it doesn't matter what the size of that is, this bottom part, that's just to grab onto. It could be bloody this big if you wanted it to be. But just to show you what size the bottom part is, I made it 80mm diameter and 15mm thick. But there you go. If you have one of these machines and you want to use any filament on earth, you just make up a bush and then it sits in there like that. Goodbye.